Okay, welcome to the post-game show. I'm Chad Cook with ABRLive. I'm on location in Savannah. Even though we are AUGB ball, I am in Savannah with the GAIS squad, two of the guys right here with me, and lots of great basketball action in Augusta tonight. But let's go ahead and start. First of all, I'll introduce our guests tonight. In addition to Matt Miller and Austin Crown of the GAIS squad, we have Matt Scott in the studio. Matt is a former legend in Columbia County, Lakeside High School basketball, leading. Matt, how many points did you score in your career? Over 2,000, right?
Yeah, 22 something. I'm not exactly sure, but Ashley Brown, AB knows it, so I'll let him have all that.
Well, when you score that many, it's hard to keep track. So, you know, I'm pretty sure you're like the Columbia County all-time leading scorer, for sure, Lakeside's, and you played basketball at Augusta State, among other places, and now you coach, along with Mike Stokes, the best AAU team in the country, Southern Stampede. Guys like Ahmed Hill and Michael Scott from Aquinas play on that team. And Chris Robinson, ABRLive, reporter extraordinaire, brought us the Glen Hills game tonight, brought us the Butler Glen Hills upset Tuesday night. Lots of people on Twitter saying, you know, thank you for bringing the updates and things like that. And that's all Chris is doing. He does a great job for us. And so let's get right to it. Let's start off with GAIS. Drew's on the producing end of things, and Drew, if you'll take us into that flashback. This was a couple weeks ago at Aquinas High School. GAIS played First Pres. First Pres is like the best team in private school basketball in the state of Georgia. They win, you know, state championships mostly every year. We beat them 57-47 a couple weeks ago, and then tonight, go ahead and cut Drew to the live action. We were down by 17, count them, 17 points in the fourth quarter, down by 13 with less than 2 minutes to go. Drew, if you can play that little 2-minute video that kind of shows we're down 60-54 at this moment. Matt, we drew up a play. It's our first play ever. We actually had a play there, didn't we? So what'd you do there, Matt? You drilled a three here, and that brought us within 3. You know, you were joking around. You said you guys were joking around on the foul line about this point, thinking, hey, we might actually have a chance here.
That's true. Austin and I were there, and I think we were down by 6 maybe, and he missed 2 free throws. And then right after that, I got the steal here, and then we really realized we had a chance to come back and win.
Oh my God!
In a moment here, you know, we foul. The guy misses 2 free throws. Your brother, Matt, Zach Miller, gets the rebound, gets fouled. He goes to the free throw line, makes 2 free throws. We actually have the score wrong on the screen, Drew. It's okay, but it's the final score was actually 63-61. But anyway, so Zach makes 2 free throws to put us up, what, 61-60, guys? Yeah, 61-60, and then you'll see Zach Miller again here make the second one. We were worried about that one. It looked like it might not go in, but it went in. And so in a second here, First Pres will get to the foul line. We'll go ahead and play this last play. Matt fouls out on this play, actually. We're talking like 15 seconds to go here. This kid's a really good player. I think his name's Herbert Brooks. Sophomore, can really play. Misses that one. Tall guy gets the rebound, so he'll go to the line. Matt fouls out on that play. Austin, what are you thinking there? What are you thinking right here? The tie game, you're down there on the bottom block. You're thinking, get your hands on the ball and do what?
Go as fast as I can and do a layup on the other end.
Right. And you know, we'll get to in a second to what you actually were thinking, because I know what you were actually thinking about whether or not you were going to pass it and what you were going to do with it. And so as you see, Austin Crown comes out with a big shot, 2.8 seconds to go. We're very excited there. We hadn't been close much of this game. So 63-61 with 2.8 seconds. But and they put 4 seconds back up on the clock, a little home cooking with the referees. And you see there, Matt Miller with a good deflection.
I wasn't in the court. I was fouled out.
I meant Zach Miller. Yeah. We make mistakes sometimes. So that was Zach Miller. But Drew, show that last play, the Austin Crown last play. So we're going to freeze it and everything. Watch this. guys at home, watch this. We freeze it right here. See those two guys next to Austin? They do not leave him. And Austin, are you thinking at any moment that you're going to pass that ball? Tell the truth.
Honestly, no, I wasn't. At that moment, I wasn't.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So you take on two, you get to the basket, you score over a 6'7" guy, you got bumped there, go to the ground, and you win the game. Matt, you're in the studio. Matt Scott in the studio there. Drew, let's go ahead and take it back to Matt. I know that you really like my guys here, Matt Miller and Austin Crown. You've gotten to know them, and the guys that you coach and are so involved with have gotten to know them. You know, they get a lot of respect in our area, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Michael Scott and Matt Hill, you know, they praise Matt and Austin every time they see them play. We watched the majority of y'all's game the other night against Gray Military at Evans, and you know, it just they're tough. They play hard.
Yeah, speaking of that, Drew, go ahead and play that Gray Military as we talk a little bit more about GAIS before we move on. Play that Gray Military stuff. So this is Matt the other day, Matt Miller. Matt scored 43. By the way, Austin scored 39 against Gray Military a few weeks ago. And this team, you know, is as good as any high school team will ever play against. It's a prep school team, multiple D1 guys on the perimeter and down low. And so Matt, again, scored 43 points that night, following up on Austin's. You know, you even see him getting a little block there. You were having fun out there that night, weren't you?
I was really relaxed, too, just having fun.
Yeah, that's great. It's good to play from the home. Matt, let's get your take on that while we watch Matt Miller here. Matt Scott, that Aquinas-Laney game was something else, right?
Man, I mean, it was a barn burner for sure. I mean, it both teams competed hard, and you know, I laugh at you and pick at you about your live bodies phrase, but they threw a lot of live bodies at us that game. They played really well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, you know, let's bring it back to the studio, Drew, or I guess to me. You know, so these guys, great win tonight. I was telling Matt Scott, I think we've lost to one high school team all year. Bethesda Day beat us by 2 points. All the other losses have come to these prep school teams, which, you know, I'm not, you know, lots of people say, oh, they have 20-year-olds. Well, these teams actually do have 20 and 21-year-olds, and those are the only teams to beat us besides Bethesda Day, and we play Bethesda Day tomorrow, so hopefully we'll be able to even the score on that one. And so you guys, I was going to let you stick around and watch the Daniel Bridges highlights, your old friend and competitor. And listen, laughing. Of course, he's your friend. When you compete against somebody, he becomes your friend. And but he scored 51 points this week. We'll cover that in a little while. But guys, go to bed. Got to play Bethesda tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Two best guards in the Southeast, Matt Miller and Austin Crown. No, we're not going to debate that. I'm just going to go ahead and make that statement. Okay. So now, what's up next, Drew? Who do we have? Glen Hills? Yes. Okay. So 3B, 4A, sub-region 3B, 4A, Glen Hills at the top tonight after beating Hepzibah. Let's go. No, I'm sorry. Who'd they beat? Hepzibah. Yeah. Here's the flashback. This was a few weeks ago. Glen Hills opening region play with a victory over Hepzibah by 16 points at Hepzibah. That kicked off region play. That was just a few weeks ago on January 8th. And Drew, let's go into the highlights for tonight. Let's start off with Tamarick Fields' dunk. This is Tamarick Fields. Go ahead and play that twice or three times, Drew. And the fun thing about that is an old friend, Dominique Archie, retweeted this dunk, and he is something like, wow, you know, okay then, you know, that kind of thing. Dominique Archie played at Josie. He played at University of South Carolina, and now he's overseas playing professionally, I think in France. I hope I don't get that wrong. But, Matt, you probably played. Let's go to the studio, Drew. You played against Dominique Archie back in the day, right?
Yeah, Dominique was a sophomore when I was a senior. I played against him 2 years. He obviously played varsity as a freshman and sophomore, so I competed with him for 2 years.
Yeah. From across the water from an old friend, Dominique Archie. But, Chris, you were in the gym last night, or tonight, for Glen Hills. go ahead and show Drew the highlights of Glen Hills. Glen Hills got the win, moves to 5-1, solo first place in sub-region standings. What'd you see tonight out of Glen Hills, Chris?
Well, as you see right here, they opened the game up with a press from the very first play of the game, and they stayed in it, and they caused, I think they got 8 points in the first quarter off of turnovers, and they got these easy transition baskets, as you see, and they also shot very well. They hit three three-pointers in the first quarter alone. I think you're going to see a couple here.
Yeah. And, you know, Matt, like I just talked about my guards being so good. I always talk about those Aquinas guards being so good. You know, but these Glen Hills guys are also very good, and there's more than 2 of them. There's 4, 5, 6 of them, and they really get after it defensively. You know, I'd have to say, and you've seen it firsthand with Aquinas, you know, had a lot of trouble with those guys. The guards had a lot of trouble with those guys. I'm sure mine would too. Those guys really get after it defensively, don't they, Matt?
Yeah, they do. And you're right. They don't have 1 or 2 guys. They have 4 or 5 guys, all between the 6 foot and 6'3", 6'4" range, long arms, and it's tough because any one of them can score 15, 20 points on any given night. So they're tough.
Definitely. So they moved to 5-1, and you know, bounced back after losing to Butler, first loss of the year. So only 1 loss on the season. Very proud of our Glen Hill Spartans, and Hephzibah gave a valiant effort tonight, but came up short. So we'll move on now. Drew, what's next on the agenda? I'm looking for my notes here. I can't find them. What's the next game, Drew?
It looks like you're going to talk about the Lakeside Evans game.
Yeah, Lakeside Evans. So Evans goes to 5-0 in sub-region play. What an atmosphere. Matt, you were at the game tonight, but we'll quiet down here for a second. Actually, let's play the flashback first, Drew. Play the flashback. So Evans versus Lakeside just a few weeks ago went down to the final possession. Lakeside has every single sub-region game has been decided on the final possession. They've won 2 of them with last-second shots. They've lost 1 against, Grovetown with the last-second shot. And then this one, they came up just short on a last-second shot, lost by 1. So they come in. There's been chatter on Twitter going crazy between the Evans and Lakeside student sections. So let's go ahead and cut to tonight's action, Drew, and just let that play with the volume and everything. I'm not sure if we have the volume there or not, but that was the Evans student section. And then show now that video of the Lakeside student section. This is classic. You see the guy, Matt, and Chris, you see the guy surfing through the crowd there?
Yeah, the human body surfing another human body.
Classic. You're watching balls here. They kind of drop them over. That is so awesome. So, you know, that's what high school basketball is all about. Drew, go ahead and play the highlights from the game. It went into overtime. Matt, talk about the atmosphere and talk about the basketball there tonight.
Well, you know, the atmosphere, it was, I got there about 5 minutes into the girls' game, and it was packed in. You know, the students weren't as live and loud as they get in the boys' game, but it was pretty filled in the girls' game. And you know, the tip, well, there wasn't a jump ball. I was going to say jump ball. Somebody dunked, so Evans got 2 free throws. But from the get-go, it was rowdy in there.
Yeah. Now Evans, from following the tweets, Evans led, by 5 or 6, it looked like, throughout. And then the game went to overtime. Was it a late push at the end, or was it pretty much back and forth the entire game?
No, it was a late push. You know, I think it was something like 50-39 or 50-40 or something like that. And Lakeside went on. It was a 10-3 run, 10-2 run, 11-3 run, something like that. And in the last 3 minutes, it got really dicey there. And B.J. Raymond had 6 straight points and 2 assists to Sam Powell to go along with Evans. Jacob Buchanan missed 1 of 2 free throws, and then Madeline Marshall, I think, missed the front end of a 1-and-1. So Evans gave him a little help there, but it was down the stretch. It was Lakeside was putting the push to get in overtime.
Yeah, man, it's Lakeside, you know, that's your alma mater. They have had 5 games now go down to the final possession. I think you told me that B.J. Raymond, the Lakeside point guard, went to the hole to try to win it and probably got hammered pretty good, and there was no call, which you kind of got to like at the end, let the players decide it. But, you know, look at the scene there at the end. What a great atmosphere for high school basketball. Evans, Lakeside. Evans goes to 5-0. Now there's a 2-way tie. Let's throw those standings back up there, Drew. The region 2A, 5A standings. So Evans goes to 5-0, creates a lot of distance between them and everybody else. So they're on their way, it looks like, to a very high seed in the region tournament. And then Grovetown, Lakeside, and Greenbrier are all, you know, packed in there to try to fight for that second seed in that sub-region going into region tournament play. I think now, Drew, do we move on to Westside or do we move on to
you're wanting to move next to North Augusta.
Awesome. North Augusta. T.J. Shepard was on fire tonight, led North Augusta with 35. One of the things we've been having a lot of fun with, our ABRLive reporter, Zach Heron, does a great job, and he tweeted out this highlight. Let's go. Forget the flashback, Drew. We'll just go to this highlight here. And this is T.J. Shepard. This is the kind of night it was for T.J. Shepard. Everything was falling. That's just before the third quarter buzzer. Go ahead and play that a couple more times, Drew. And we had fun with that because Zach Heron tweeted that out and called that T.J. Shepard's oop-de-doo shot. So, you know, that's funny. That's a funny little term to describe that. T.J. Shepard's oop-de-doo shot. But anyway, hey, I just got a tweet from a student section member of Evans saying not only is Evans the best team in the region, but their student section is the best in the region. So shouts out to the Evans student section. But let's go ahead and play TJ's highlights now. So what he does tonight? TJ got to the bucket and he scored at will. He scored 35 points in a monster victory over what was the region leading, tied up with Aiken, the region leading Lexington squad. 25-point victory. They hang 84 on the scoreboard, and T.J. Shepard again had a huge night. I think in a second here he'll even make a couple good passes. Here's one here into the post, and I can't remember that guy's name, but he does that quite a bit. So congratulations to North Augusta getting the victory. And Matt, you've seen TJ quite a bit. He's pretty athletic, and he can score in the open court, right?
Yeah, he from the look of these highlights, you know, he's doing it all. I mean, he's mid-range. He's shot a couple of threes. He threw up the oop-de-doop. He's taking it to the cup. He did it all. I mean, he's capable of this any night.
Yes, he's a big, very, very good player, and he'll do a lot of work here at the end of the year, senior campaign. You got to teach Ahmed and Michael Scott and those guys that oop-de-doo shot. You never know when you need that.
Yeah,
okay.
it does.
So let's move on. Is it Westside and Harlem now, Drew?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, so Westside, you see them atop the 3B AA standings, a game ahead of Laney. They beat Laney last Friday. Frank Booker had 33 points, and you'll see here tonight, Frank had another big night. Harlem playing without their star. You see Frank's little brother on there on the shoulders of one of the players there. That was cute. So Frank scores 37 tonight. These are actually the highlights. Oh, this is the flashback. Yeah, good job. So this, you know, as you see, Harlem put it on, or Westside put it on Harlem a few weeks ago, 93-44. Holy cow, that's a lot. But go ahead and play Frank's highlights from tonight now, Drew. Frank Booker scoring 37. We had a little bit of a debate on whether or not that was his career high. Somebody thinks that he might have scored 39 at one point in time, but either way, he scored a lot tonight. And the Westside Patriots. We'll see here if we're going to see any of Frank. There we go. There's Frank. I think you might actually get a dunk here. Yeah, Frank off the 1 foot. I've seen him dunk off 2 feet with 2 hands. So, and Frank Booker, you know, by far maybe our most explosive scorer You know, although I did see Ahmed Hill's averaging 31 points a game. You got to be kidding me. So, but Frank is right up there with the most explosive scorers in the state, in the region. You know, in the Southeast, Frank Booker, a pure shooter, had a big game tonight, 37 points and an 81-25 victory over Harlem. You got to be kidding me. That's a big one. And but you know, like I said, Harlem playing without Reggie Reed. Let's move on. Drew is next. Cross Creek in Burke County.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. So Cross Creek, you can see here with the win over Burke County, moves into a three-way tie with Butler and Burke County. This is probably our flashback. Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, Burke County opened region play with a win at Cross Creek, and that kind of, you know, put Cross Creek behind the 8 ball. But now with victories, go ahead and cut to tonight, Drew. So now after Cross Creek has gotten a victory at Butler and a victory at Burke County, they beat Hepzibah a couple days ago, and pretty sure, yeah, they beat Richmond at home not too long ago. So they are 4-2 now. The Razorbacks, we expected a lot of good things out of them this year, and they're starting to fulfill some of that promise now at 4-2 in region play. And again, you see Cross Creek getting the victory over Burke County here tonight. So now let's move on. What's next, Drew?
The footage of Daniel Bridges.
Oh, yeah, Daniel Bridges. So, you know, go ahead and just start playing it. I'll talk over it. Daniel Bridges is an old friend of mine and the team that I coach. He actually played homeschool basketball for the Upstate Eagles a few years ago, but he has since transferred to Landrum High School. And as you can see, Daniel had a huge game the other night for Landrum High School, scored 51 points, pulled down 14 rebounds. And, you know, he's 6'6", maybe 6'7". He can shoot it from deep. He's athletic. He's a skilled player. He can put it on the floor. You see him shooting a little floater there off the dribble going left. And Matt, you probably haven't run into Daniel. He played for the Upward Stars last year. You may have, may not have, but in the AAU ball. But Matt, you know scoring as well as anybody. 51's a lot, no matter where you're playing, who you're playing against. Do you agree with that?
51 is 51, Chad. It doesn't matter who it's against. But yeah, I do remember Daniel. I do remember Daniel from Upward Stars. I do.
Yeah, he's a tough player, and you know, if we would have had more time, I would have had Drew get the clip where he threw the ball between Javis Howard, a really good player out of Irmo, threw the ball between Javis Howard's legs and goes and lays it in at a camp that we were at, and we've got the footage on that, so that was kind of cool. But anyway, Daniel Bridges. Now, Daniel plays on a very good team, Landrum High School, 18-2, 9-1 in region play. They're get this, Matt and Chris, they're averaging 80 points per game. Daniel himself is averaging 20 points, 12 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 2 assists per game. In the last 4 games, he's gone for 35, 23, and 51, and rebounds of 18, 17, and 15. And then another one, 28 points and 18 rebounds. So in the last 4 games, he's averaging 34 points, 17 rebounds per game. You have got to be kidding me. Daniel Bridges with the huge last 4 games, and they're AA South Carolina public school ball, and we look for them to make a huge run this year. Other good players on that team, I've seen this kid, Trustin Whiteside, 6'2" point guard, got some D1 offers. I think it's D1. I know D2. And he's averaging 11 points and 8 assists and 8 rebounds and 4 steals per game. Holy moly. So anyway, they put numbers up over at Landrum, and Daniel Bridges sure numbers up this past Tuesday with 51 points. Okay, so what do we have next, Drew? Are we on to Butler now?
Yes, sir. Butler, ARC.
Okay, so Butler, since getting Ronald Jones back, they've defeated now Glen Hills Tuesday, first loss for Glen Hills of the season, and then ARC today. And the big story Tuesday, we'll flash back to Dante Coleman scoring 39 points. Chris, you were at that game. Do you remember how many threes he made? It was a bunch.
Oh, it was over 5. I think it was like 5 or 6 3-pointers, maybe 7.
Yeah, Matt, you know, you should have, I don't know if you saw it, but Chris did a great interview with Coach Bate after the game, the Butler coach, and he asked him how it felt. And Coach Bate said, I don't know how it feels. It's just another game, after giving Glen Hills his first loss at Glen Hills. So, Coach Bate, I don't know if you've seen these interviews, Matt, but Coach Bate by far gives the best interview footage of any coach in Augusta.
Yeah, he does. I have to, it was more than another game, though. I mean, he broke a 17, 18-game winning streak. That was a good win for him. But, yeah, I did see that. He gives a great interview.
He does. He's great. I love Coach Bate. The guys love playing for him. As you see, he lets him go, and Don in particular had a huge night that night. But tonight, let's go to tonight's footage, and it was more of the same tonight. Dante Coleman scoring 29 points. You see him here. A friend of ours, Matt, says that Dante Coleman would attack the rim if President Obama's security team was there to guard the rim, and you see him doing that here. And he put up 29 points to lead Butler to the victory. Well, before we go, Drew, go ahead and throw the Butler-Richmond footage up, not just Dante Coleman, but the regular Butler-Richmond footage up, because, Matt, I want to get your take on that. Butler, when they put all those pieces together, they've got Ronald Jones back. I'd say there's no reason why they can't challenge for, the region championship over Glen Hills even. I'm not saying they will, but I don't see why they can't, and I don't see why they can't make a good push in state. What do you think about that?
I agree. That region, we talked about Cross Creek a second ago. That region tournament's going to be interesting. I mean, Glen Hills is obviously the favorite, but I think that region tournament's going to be interesting. Butler, if they can get Ronald Jones involved and Dante Coleman keep putting up the numbers like he's putting up, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Butler goes into a three-way tie now with Cross Creek and Burke County, and that's important stuff because you want to get one of the top two spots so you can get a bye in region play and use just one win to get to the state tournament, and so that's important. So what's next?
We're going to be going with Aiken and White Knoll.
Okay. So Aiken will flash back really fast. The first region game of the season for Aiken was against White Knoll, and White Knoll put it on our guys from Aiken. White Knoll's led by a really good sophomore point guard named Amarius Logan, and he's number 2. We'll probably see him sooner or later here. But after this game, and go ahead and go to tonight's footage. Ooh, I'm getting a message, a text that says they can't hear me. Have you guys checked the audio? Is everything okay?
We're checking it now.
Okay. So again, we're testing the audio now. Thanks for the text on that you can't hear me. Guys, are we good to go?
I believe we are.
Okay, cool. All right, so after losing the first game in the region to White Knoll, Aiken has run off 4 straight, but tonight they fell again to White Knoll. White Knoll moves to 3-3 in region play. North Augusta, with their win earlier, moves to 3-3 in region play. Aiken falls to 4-2. North Augusta beat Lexington, so they fall to 4-2. So 4 teams bunched up right near the top of that. Of those standings, and the key in South Carolina basketball is there is no region tournament. So the top 4 teams move on. The 2 teams get home games in the state tournament. So these guys are fighting for a top 4 and a top 2 spot. And tonight's loss by Aiken to White Knoll is a big one. But I'm sure Coach Tony Harrell's squad will turn it around. Amarius Logan led White Knoll with 22 points, and I'm pretty sure Sean Moore led Aiken with 16. Okay, so now let's move on, Drew. Drew.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. You got it.
Richland Northeast.
Yes, sir.
In Columbia, Richland Northeast, and Ridgeview. We see the flashback here. Blowout at home, Richland Northeast versus Ridgeview a couple weeks ago. Go ahead to tonight. Drew, go ahead to tonight. And it was a totally different story. Ridgeview's been a little disappointing lately as far as what their expectations were. They've lost to Spring Valley, Irmo, and R&E before tonight. All of those are, you know, very respectable losses. Very respectable losses, but losses nonetheless. And Ridgeview's got a great tradition, and they're not used to losing. So, but they get the win tonight. I'm pretty sure Jordan Porty led the way for Ridgeview, the Ridgeview Blazers at home with the big win over Richland Northeast. Congratulations to Coach John Combs' squad. Good to see them get on the track they are used to being on, winning ball games. So good for them. Now, guys, let's go to Greenbrier, Grovetown. Greenbrier searching for its first region win, and they got it tonight versus Grovetown. I don't know. Do we have? Go ahead and play it, Drew. Play the footage from tonight. Let's not flash back. Let's just go straight to tonight. Oh, good. We see that. Briefly saw the Grovetown fans there, and that's the blue crew, the student section. And you see Logan Morris there shooting, missing, but I think that's Solomon Gauze. Maybe not. Maybe not. Hey, Matt, seen Solomon Gauze play, the 10th grader, number 4 for Grovetown?
You know, I saw him, Chad. I saw him in the scrimmage. As a matter of fact, you were the one who pointed him out to me.
Yeah.
And the very long, very promising kid. I mean, he seems that he's putting up numbers. I hear now. I don't get to see him play a lot, but I heard he's playing pretty well.
Yeah, he scored 27 the other night against Lakeside, but tonight was all about Greenbrier. You see here, that's Justin Hartfield, a freshman, scoring there. Kayshawn Marshall, the junior, led the way with 15 points. Greenbrier gets his first sub-region victory, and at 1-4, they're only one game behind Lakeside and Grovetown. So another win, and they are right there in the hunt. There's Connor Sigrist, 6'7" senior, with the and one there. So congratulations to Coach Casey Heckathorn's Greenbrier squad, and so they will be they'll be looking to, you know, continue to climb in that sub-region standings. So I want to get to the girls now. I'd love to, actually, if you've got one queued up, let me know. But if you want me to tell you which one I want to start with, you let me know that too.
Yeah, go ahead. I got Aiken and White Knoll.
Let's throw that up there. Aiken and White Knoll. Erin Gilmore from Aiken. Pretty sure I remember her being the leading scorer. Let's try to throw up that graphic, Drew, so I can double check that. Yeah, Erin Gilmore with 16 points. Aiken's girls now go to 5-1 in region play. That won't be number 1 in region play because Duck is absolutely fabulous, and they lead the region at 6-0. But Aiken is right behind them, and I believe that's Rebecca Mira right there, and she played a good game as well. So congratulations to the Aiken Hornets getting to 5-1 in region play with the road win at White Knoll. Now let's go to Greenbrier Grovetown if we have it, Drew.
Yes, sir. There you go.
Okay, great. So Greenbrier, I'm pretty sure that's Kara Thompson, or maybe Jennifer McMahon there. They both shoot the ball so well. But Greenbrier goes to, I think it's 4-1 now in region play. Stay tied atop the region standings. That is probably Kara Thompson right there. She's senior, very good shooter. The rest of the squad is basically sophomores. You know, a lot of the people that get a lot of the contributions, and so Greenbrier comes up with the big win after losing the first sub-region game versus Evans. They've won 4 straight. 3 of those were on the road. Tonight they return home and continue their winning streak against Grovetown. Congratulations to I think it's Coach Basinger. I hope I didn't get that wrong, Coach. Congratulations on your victory tonight. Now to Evans, we have it. Let's move to the Evans girls game.
All right.
Long story short, Evans was able to get the victory tonight against Lakeside. I'm pretty sure the duo of Jasmine Stone and Allison McFarland, or Alicia McFarland, I hope I got that right, combined for 47 points tonight. You see Jasmine's name up there on the screen, scoring 27, and McFarland contributed 20. And, you know, not that you see, no offense to girls teams, but not often the girls game get into the 73-63 range. Did you catch any of that one tonight, Matt?
Yeah, I came in with like 3 minutes left in the first quarter. I watched the whole thing, and I spoke to Ryan Morningstar for a while after, he was actually my the JV coach and assistant varsity coach when I was at Lakeside, and he said it's going to be a battle with Greenbrier down the stretch.
Yes, it sure will. It sure will. And the cool thing, play each other 3 times. So now that Evans and Greenbrier have split, those 2 teams will play each other one more time, and who knows, they might even play each other during the region tournament. So a lot of great rivalries in there. We saw the student sections earlier. Give me a break. That was amazing, and it's great to be able to see that basically 9 different nights this regular season. So, okay, so do we have Westside girls?
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay. Westside girls took it to Harlem tonight. Westside is number 2 in their region, behind Laney, and you know, really good team here. Westside, I like watching them play. I like Asia. I think it's Asia Gibson and oh man, I can't remember the girl on the wing that's so good. We'll probably see her in a second here, but the Patriots moved to 4-1 in region play with the big 75-23 victory over Harlem. Congratulations to the Lady Pats. I know my partner Will Avery will be happy to see that they continue to roll. Now, what else do we have girls-wise? Do we have Cross Creek? Speaking of great teams, do we have Cross Creek?
Yes, sir, we do.
Great, let's throw that up there. Hey, Matt, you haven't seen this team play this year, have you?
Not this year, but last year I saw them, and I mean they're well coached. Is the first thing I came away from that, and I'm not sure the coach's name. I apologize, but she does a great job with those. Every year they're competitive.
Yeah, Coach Schlein. I think
man.
She at Hepzibah, which you know has a great tradition. Chris, I'm sure you've seen the Cross Creek girls play this year. Is that right?
I actually have not seen them play this year. I've seen a lot of teams, but I have not seen the Cross Creek girls.
Well, I was 0 for 2 on that one, but I have seen them, and they are good. And Ashley Outler scored 17 points tonight. She is tough. She can do it all. She can score with both hands. She's, you know, aggressive. She passes the ball well. And Brianna Bryant as well. You know, just very good. 2 very good players. And Tia Pullins, lots of talent on that team. And as Matt said, very well coached, very athletic. Just a fine squad. Before we sign off, do we have any more girls action, Drew?
We actually have the Hepzibah versus Glen Hills game.
Okay, great. Let's go with Hepzibah getting back on the right track after running into that buzzsaw in the form of Cross Creek Tuesday night. Hepzibah gets a road victory at Glen Hills. Shannon Wimberly leads the way with 16 points, and Hepzibah is very, very good. They, I think they're 4-2 now, so they're right behind Cross Creek. But you know, right Cross Creek is in the win and loss column only. I don't see anybody really challenging them anytime soon. But congratulations to the Lady Rebels tonight with the victory at Glen Hills. And you know, I just would like to say thank you to everybody. You know, Chris and Drew. Matt saw a little bit of it tonight. Go ahead and put the camera in the studio. You guys saw Chris and Drew, and you guys saw that Twitter feed. It was on fire tonight, right? We've got a bunch of really cool interactions going on in our community.
It was, yeah. It was crazy the amount of traffic that was coming through.
Yeah.
It was.
Me and Ben were sitting here working on the Twitter more, Ben, and he said he's never seen a Twitter account blow up like that on a Friday night. So, yeah, it was really neat to see the live action coming in and the response by the followers.
Yeah, I don't know if Drew's mic is working, so I'm going to jump in here, Chad. But so far, even just tonight on the show, we've had over 150 views in the past few minutes. So,
wow. Well, what I'd like to say is 150 thank yous to all of you who have tuned in. You know, we're not talking about this right now because we're like saying, oh, that, you know, we did anything that was good or anything like that. What we're saying is your response when you retweet and you say you guys are awesome and thanks for covering, thanks for bringing me highlights, thanks for keeping me up to date, all that stuff. When you correct us when we get the wrong name, that all keeps us going. We love to interact with you. We love to know that what we do is is seen and valued and enjoyed by the Augusta basketball community, which is the community we serve and the community that we are a part of, whether it be Matt Scott, you know, a former player, a current coach, a mentor to young people in the community, whether it be me. I'm here in Savannah coaching my guys. I'm putting together this stuff with these guys. Drew and Ben got their heads in computers all day long, preparing the show, getting the ABRLive reporters. Guys like Chris in the studio tonight, he's in the gym, you know, reporting on the action, tweeting it out, texting with me when I'm bothering him about this and that, and writing stories and taking pictures, and so we enjoy it. We're glad you enjoy it. Shout us out, holler at us. Thank you for joining us. And Chris, Matt, do you know where we will see them?
In the gym.
We'll see him in the gym.
In the gym. Signing off.